In this video, I'm going to show you a graph that will help you visualize how easy or difficult day trading will be. Now, if you're watching this, I'm assuming in one shape or another, you care about you're trying to keep expectations in line with reality, which is fantastic. There's nothing worse than when you show up and you discover, oh wow, my expectations were really out of line with reality. So I applaud you for wanting to keep things as in line with reality as possible. Good news is this is a very easy, very basic graph to follow. So let's get into it. Now, the first part of the graph is just, well, the difficulty level. Now, I confess a little bit of clickbait on my part because nothing about day trading is easy. So at the baseline, day trading is hard. So you have hard towards the bottom, and then as difficulty rises, you'll eventually get to real hard. So we have hard up to real hard, but okay, well, what's making something hard or what's making something real hard? And that's where the next part of the graph comes into play. So what's gonna make things hard or real hard? Well, the amount of money that is needed. But money needed for what exactly? Well, that's where the critical line comes into play, which is called the cost of contentment. What do I mean by cost of contentment? Well, how much is it gonna cost for you to be content? Content with what? Well, we'll get into that. But at the core, that's gonna be a very, very pivotal moment in all this, a very pivotal data point in order to figure out how this all works. Because as it implies, well, the more it's gonna cost you to be content, well, the more money is needed. And I should also note that as I go into these examples to illustrate this, I'm not making any judgments. I'm not saying that your cost of contentment should be one thing or another. No judgments on my part. I'm just trying to illustrate that, yeah, when you have a higher cost of contentment, well, then more money is needed. So let's go through a couple of examples. So let's take a look at an example where you're right there. You have a high cost of contentment. I don't know, maybe you need that beach, side house in Maui, Hawaii. Maybe you need a garage full of fancy cars. Maybe you need a Rolex watch. Maybe you need all three of those. Again, no judgments for me. Whatever your cost of contentment is, go for it. That's your goal. I hope you can accomplish it. But let's look at this. Well, if that is your cost of contentment, what is that going to imply in regards to how much money is needed? Well, you're going to need a whole lot of money because that stuff is obviously very costly. Well, then how does this function within the graph itself? Well, so right there, you're going to need to make it rain. But again, how does it function within the graph itself? Well, you're going to be up near the really, really hard part. Like I said, nothing fancy, nothing complicated to understand. The higher your cost of contentment, then the more money you will need. The more money you will need, well then yeah, day trading is gonna get that much more harder than what it already is. Let's look at another example. So in this situation, your cost of contentment is much less. Maybe you are somebody that's just, I wanna have family time. Maybe you're just saying, I just want freedom of time, not necessarily for family, but just to go and do whatever I want. So I don't need the fancy cars, I don't need all that sort of stuff. I just want to have some freedom of time. Well, in this situation, when you match that up, that's gonna put you which much less money is needed. And I put that image there because I think it goes to illustrate where if you approach day trading with more of a, hey, this is a side hustle, this is one stream of income among others, well then yeah, you're not gonna need as much money needed from day trading itself because you have other streams of income. And all these other streams of income are making those much more lower cost of contentment goals that much more possible. So then when you move that over there to the other part of the graph, yeah, day trading is still hard. It will always be hard, but it's not going to be nearly as hard as what that first example we went through was. So at the end of the day, the question you need to ask yourself is, what is your cost of contentment? You got to figure that out. And no right or wrong answer, but the more it costs you to be content, to be happy, well then you're just gonna need more money, which is gonna make day trading that much more of a challenge. So I hope this helps. I hope this quickly illustrates some questions that you need to figure out going into all of this, and that will give you a better expectation and keep those expectations in line with reality. So hopefully this helps. If you enjoy these videos, hit that like button, leave a comment below. Check out the channel as a whole. I hope you enjoy what you see and you decide to hit that subscribe button. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.